Hello there and welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka on Monday the 3rd of December, and we're here about the art exhibition Passion, which is going to be held on the 16th of December at the Sapumal Foundation Gallery from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Indeed, a variety of artwork which I'd never really heard about before going to be on display, and indeed you should get yourself there to see and maybe get your hands on those wonderful pieces of art. I want to come back to you, Manga. Now, this project is, as you said, something very important, something you're passionate about. Are you going to continue this? Is it going to be a continuous project?
Well, initially we didn't have any plans, but after we saw the response, especially on Facebook, we decided to make it one of our signature projects. So hopefully next year we'll be having another project, another exhibition, maybe a bit bigger with a few more artists. So let's see how it goes from there. So
it's going to be artists only, people, maybe musicians maybe, or just the ones who are in the aesthetic side of art?
Let's see how it goes. If Shazana comes up with a better plan, we'll probably get even musicians involved. Let's see how it goes.
So it seems, Shazana, that there is an idea behind it. There is a purpose. If it's going to be a key event in the road track calendar for you, I think there is a cause behind it much more important than just art coming to be exhibited. What are the concerns that these artists face?
I think I can speak. I hope I'm not offending anyone really, but I don't think a lot of people know the kind of process that an artist in Sri Lanka really has to go through. I mean, it's really not an easy life. I mean, I know you all are just coming up, but understanding the other side is that there's a certain amount, I hope I'm not technically wrong, but there's a certain amount of exploitation that takes place, I would say. These artists, they do have a language barrier, so they go to someone, you know, to sell their work who would probably sell it for a double or triple, and they would just get this measly amount.
So one is commercial exploitation.
Yes, Harit. Okay, commercial exploitation, okay. But another thing is that they have no choice. I mean, no artist here would say that they're sufficiently balanced in their with money and everything. Not every artist has a regular salary. If they sell a painting, wow, good for them. They're okay probably for about 2 weeks.
Right. Is exposure a problem?
Definitely, because of this language barrier. So they go to this, it's like, you know, that whole chain, food chain kind of thing. They go to a bigger person and say, you know what, I need the money, I need to sell this.
Right.
So that's what happens.
So let's come to the artists. Isuri, do you relate to these problems as an upcoming artist? Do you think it will actually affect you?
I consider myself as a freelance artist. That means I do full-time illustrations and graphic design stuff. I actually haven't been in the industry for that long, so I wouldn't have that much knowledge. But as far as I know, the main thing I find is that people don't necessarily pay you for your worth. You just have to, like, they're surprised if you name a certain price. Like, why are you asking for so much? And it's like, but that's the standard price.
It's on their terms rather than yours.
But yeah, it's kind of like that.
And Irushi, it brings us to the question, can being an artist be a profession? Have you ever considered as a profession? Do you think you can be a profession for you?
Yeah, well, definitely. I'm actually working on I'm illustrating a book for this lady I know, and I've actually enjoyed it so much. I'm actually considering maybe going abroad and studying art at some point, and taking up illustration, like children's book illustrations specifically, as a career at some point. That is actually my dream. So
Shamant, what about you? I mean, with all these problems, do you think it's an easy profession? Is it a profession?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the easiest profession, especially if you consider being an artist in this sense, the kind of artist that exhibits works and that sells them separately. It's not something I've thought of doing full-time, but instead, similar to what Isuri does, I do freelance graphic design, and because that kind of thing is easier to market and it's easier to sell and negotiate, whereas the other kind is it's a very difficult place to get into.
So it seems that it's an interesting matter of discussion whether art is in fact a profession. I think some of these gentlemen who are going to, and the lady who's not here today, they are indeed, some of them are professionals. They do indulge in the profession as such. But before we come back to more discussion on this matter, we'll take a quick commercial break and be back on Good Morning Sri Lanka. Hello there and welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. We're discussing about the art exhibition Passion happening on the 16th of December at the Sapumal Foundation. And you can go there. It's a free event for anyone on the 16th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you can Facebook on RCCG Passion. RCCG Passion, and you can get the information. You can see the artists, their work. You can get an idea of what digital art is, what mixed media is, what acrylic means, what oil paintings, pencils, everything. Fantastic collection. In fact, one very interesting picture I saw was one of the famous artists now, Nicki Minaj. I was stunned to see how brilliant that art was. I couldn't imagine that it was in fact a portrait. I thought it was a picture. Coming into the topic of discussing art as a profession and all that, Shamanti, I want to come to you. When you do a certain work of art, what do you expect people to get from it? Do you just want them to see it, or do you want them to buy it, or do you want them to talk about it, criticize it, or what do you want? What do you want from work of art?
I find that the best way for me to draw something is not to think about the other people, because once I start doing that, it ruins everything. I generally have to make it about myself, and once it's finished, once it's done, then I would probably think about what people would.
So once you finish the work, you think about it.
Yeah. So I don't know. With my work, I don't really tell people what to expect from it. I generally, because I don't usually know what my influences have been when I draw things. It's all very subconscious. So a lot of people read their own meanings from my art. So
now, Umanga, you as a person, you're not an artist. I don't know if you are, but you're not on exhibition. But when you see a work of art, what do you think about it? Do you just look at it, or do you consider purchasing it? What do you feel?
I don't really have the financial power to purchase an
Of
art,
course.
unfortunately.
I don't think it's that expensive coming from what we're hearing.
Yes, but still.
Yes.
Usually, I tend to see things when I look at something. I don't know. It's not that I try to see something, but I usually see something, and that's my personal interpretation of it. But I mean, for example, Shazana and we were looking at the same art, but we had two different opinions. So I don't just look at it, I do see something in it. Sometimes I really don't know how to express myself. Maybe it's because I'm not an artist. But
Right. So, Isurya, coming to you, when you do a work of art, do you think about a meaning and put it, and do you express that meaning, or do you express it and then give it some meaning to it? What happens?
I think for me it's mainly for myself. I know it's kind of selfish, but I do a lot of character design and illustration and a lot of storytelling. So for me it's more about what I feel about that character or the story, and also humor. I love seeing humor in my art.
Right.
And that's what I want to.
So it's not necessarily that you want people to think about anything, but it's your way of portraying your feelings. Is it the same with you, Rishi?
For me, I guess I mostly draw people I know. I can't actually draw strangers. I need to know, certain personal things about them to bring out, like Isuri said, I like to bring out humor as well, but in a sort of personal way. I would draw my friends, or
Right.
I need to basically know something about the person to.
So before we head on to the end of the show, just Susan, I want to talk to you about this whole concept of art and exhibition, what you expect from this, and listening to what they say, I think there is indeed scope for art in Sri Lanka, and there is scope for people to come and see this exhibition. And who do you want to come to this exhibition, to the public? What would you have to say to them?
That's definitely scope for art in Sri Lanka, because from my personal experience I can tell you that we do have very famous established Sri Lankan artists, but unfortunately a lot of us our age don't know that, which is why some of our target audience is between 20 to 30 to 35, which is also why we have a guest artist to say that, they do exist, please come and see.
And they can even purchase these artworks.
It is a commercial exhibition, and they will be sold at the price that each artist wants their works to be sold.
And I understand there's souvenirs as well available at the exhibition.
We are printing a limited edition postcards of most of the works, and it will contain the artist's biography in it as well.
So before we wrap up, just a final question to the artists. Shamanti, what does this exhibition mean to you?
I think it's been a really good opportunity to expose the kind, like a good opportunity for exposure. Yeah, that's basically it. I'll be interested to see what
people think.
A wider audience actually thinks about
And
what I do.
Well, I never expected it to be this big, right? I mean, it just started with scribbling on notebooks, and now it's going to actually be out there, framed for people to see. So it's a huge deal for me. I'm actually really excited. So.
And Isuri?
Like Shamanti said, it's more about exposure and about people just
Getting to meet the people who actually,
the
and they can
artists.
talk to you, tell what they think about it and all that as well.
exactly, yeah.
Right. So Manka, just to conclude finally, this project, do you think on the 16th of December that you will make that impact you want?
I think
At least
we
a
will.
statement about art.
I think we definitely will, because if you check out our Facebook group, we have a couple, quite a group of people commenting on our stuff, because we have videos up and art of these guys up. So people are interested, and most of them are looking forward for the exhibition. So let's see what happens on the 16th. Hopefully to be a big success.
So indeed, you must be part of that big success to take place on the 16th of December. And thank you very much, guys, for being on the show with us today. Thank you for the Rotary Club of Cinnamon Guards, which is doing this wonderful project, and these wonderful artists. I, for one, know the value of art because I really can't draw for toffee, but I really enjoy looking at a work of art. And indeed, you should be there on the 16th of December at the Sapumal Foundation Gallery from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And with that, we'll have a wrap on Good Morning Sri Lanka on the 3rd of December. Have a fantastic day.